Misfortune, but this time as a support. AP support. Yes, you heard that right. I'm turning her into a mage because one of the viewers thought it would be a great idea. Was it? Well, if by great you mean a serious hit to my mental health, then yes. I felt like Agent 007, 0 damage, 0 utility, 7 deaths in 5 minutes. But hey, nobody said the road to glory was easy. So I began my 7-day challenge of playing Misfortune as a support. The biggest problems at the start were mostly related to the ADCs I got paired with in lane. There were moments when I couldn't believe the basic mistakes they were making or how they missed perfect opportunities. I never knew you could miss so many free kills until I met some of these players. Not using their ult in fights and hiding in corners became the daily routine. The only thing they did occasionally, and I mean really occasionally, was show up at the last second to steal the kill. How am I supposed to keep my sanity like this? There were moments when I felt like I was losing my mind and slipping into some kind of psychosis. It felt like I was one tilt away from becoming the Joker, but I kept it cool and tried to be the team's Yoda. I even gave out little tips here and there. After all, not every hero wears a cape. Warding is like brushing your teeth, basic but crucial for a healthy game, and it's always worth placing them for moments like these. But let's be honest, wards alone won't win us the game. The enemies were diving us whenever they wanted. Despite our best intentions, we suffered a crushing defeat. But after 7 days, I finally reached the level I was aiming for.
Now, say my name.
Just Jerry.
You're goddamn right.
The final game was amazing. The opponents picked some unusual champions, and if they got rolling, we wouldn't have stood a chance. When the enemy comp looks strange but dangerous, the best defense is an overwhelming offense. The strategy was simple. Don't let them breathe, and make sure they remember who's the boss on this rift. We didn't stop at first blood, we kept pushing forward to cement our early game dominance. The game got so hopeless for them that they had to call for jungler.
Need backup. Roger that.
That's what happens when you don't get that ward down in time. It was hard to tell if we were on fire or if they were just burning out. Either way, we weren't about to let up. I'll admit, I felt a bit sorry for them at first, but after those plays, you understand we couldn't stop flexing our dominance. Things got tense for a second, but we still managed to pull out the win. No plot twist here. A typical game of League of Legends where it's not just the enemy's ego that suffers, but the mental state too.
Simulation interrupted. Escape the simulation by suggesting in the comments which champion I should use to hack the Matrix. Hit that subscribe button so we can track you down and pull you out. See you on the other side.
I'll admit, I broke the sacred support code and didn't return to my lane through the jungle to help the team. But only because I wanted to have a little more fun with the enemies you've come to know, and who would probably rather forget about me. You know, I'm usually a nice guy, but there are days when the spirit of League of Legends takes over and guides my path. It's like the rift whispers in my ear. Today's the day you go full try hard and you will tilt your enemies. And who am I to refuse? But looking at what the enemies are dealing with in this match, well, a document banning online bullying might actually be a good idea. Some of them just wander into our lane only to die. Maybe it's a new hobby? Even my Brazilian adventure with Mordekaiser didn't faze me. A few slick dodges and problem solved. Of course, what happened next was just a minor brain freeze and an unfortunate mishap. Even the best Misfortune support has off moments, right? Surprisingly, at the 20-minute mark, we realized that besides the enemy duo bot and jungler, there was also a Yasuo on mid. A quick meet and greet, and we gave him a free ticket back to base. Such hospitality. Our generosity overflowed throughout the entire game. There's nothing quite like watching your enemies panic as they get slowed down and smacked with damage they definitely didn't expect. The entire enemy team kept falling one by one, which gave us the perfect opportunity to calmly take down objectives on the map. The game was occasionally overflowing with desperate plays from their side, but they had to take risks to try and get something out of it. Those little plants were a great idea, Riot Games. Now, if you could just do something about the overall game balance, and maybe reconsider if Yuumi really needs to be a part of game. Looks like Briar had a little heart-to-heart with me, but my feelings were definitely on cooldown. I kept her on her toes, reminding her that no one gets to roam free without some consequences. I hope she wasn't too upset. Just another day in the Summoner's Rift roller coaster. Unfortunately, it looks like the ride caused her more of a headache than a joy. Even defending the dragon from a champion who should have easily taken me down was surprisingly easy. Another objective added to our collection. Another small team fight initiated by the opponents in hopes of turning things around, but it went just as you'd expect. We headed back to the Drake and snagged the Dragon Soul. It might not be the best one, but hey, it's still a useful buff. Another small 2 versus 2 skirmish, but the outcome probably won't surprise anyone. Gnar just smashed them into the ground while I roasted them more than sun this summer. The grand finale was a true classic. We took the Elder Dragon to really turn up the heat on them. Then, we stormed their base, giving me one last chance to visit Brazil with Mordekaiser. I love these trips, though they never seem to end well for him. After that, it was the final roast session right by their base, followed by shattering their mental state and Nexus into pieces. But I'm not quite sure which happened first. I can't wait to see which champions you pick for me for the next video.